If you want to hear my answers to the bad and boring makeup tag, then stick around. Hi there, it's Hélène with another video, and yes, it's another tag video, and this time it is the bad and boring makeup tag created by Lobotomy. I will put her picture right here and link her channel and link the video she created for this tag down below. There are 10 questions in this tag, so it shouldn't be too long, and I'm just in the mood to do some tags this weekend, so this is going to be another one. I am looking forward to it. I did not prepare the answers to these questions, but I did watch a few people do this tag, so I have a little bit of an idea of what's in store for me, and I guess for us as we go through these 10 questions. So let's get right into it. Question number 1. Is there a foundation finish that I don't like? I don't like ultra matte finishes. I don't find they look good. If a person feels really confident and comfortable in that foundation finish, I definitely say you do you. You wear what is the most comfortable to you. I don't find that it suits me for sure. And I guess I just don't appreciate the aesthetic of it really, except maybe for specific circumstances for some pictures or whatnot. In real life, I don't like an ultra matte finish. And I find it funny that I'm answering this foundation question on a day I'm not wearing foundation. It's rare these days, but yeah, I'm not wearing foundation today. Go figure. Sun powder, no foundation. Number 2, the worst mascara I've ever tried. That is easy. It's the Elizabeth Arden Grand Entrance Mascara. It's a red and black tube mascara, and it has a really weird curved wand. I kept poking my eye with the wand, and it's very pokey, and at one point I just tossed it. It was injuring me, and the mascara worked fine, but the applicator was just brutal. I just could not deal with it. So there you go. Elizabeth Arden Grand Entrance. Not so grand. Number 3, one thing you tried once and then threw away. I'm sure there's been something. So I apologize if I've said something about a product in a previous video that, I used once and I threw away. I can't think of it. I can't think of one at this point. I can tell you about one product that I only used a few times and it completely dried up on me, and it's Spoiled Brat from the Smashbox Always On. Let me show you. I think I have it right here. So I'm hoping to get one more use out of it, but I don't know if you can tell. You see how dry it is? It's the only one. I have a bunch of Always On lipsticks there. It's the only one that just completely dried on me. It's just not applying anymore, and I'm really disappointed. And I was thinking, what could I mix with it to try to liven it up again? Because, like I said, I only used it a few times, and it's almost impossible to apply on the lips at this point. And I was trying to figure out, can I use a lip brush? What can I do? And I'm hoping to use it a couple more times because, oh, sorry, it's not Spoiled Brat. It's called Girl Gang. I gave you the wrong name, Girl Gang. And I really love this color, but I can't wear it anymore. So yeah, really disappointing. I think I used it, at most I used it 3 times. And I still keep it, right? I have this hope that I can figure out how to revive it. Because it's not old. It's not old, that's the thing. Number 4, the most boring eyeshadow palette I own. The colors are boring, but I don't find the palette itself boring, and I like its practicality, but it is boring. And it is the Naked Ultimate Basics, and it serves a very specific purpose, which is to give me a matte base for whatever else I'm about to do. It's kind of supposed to be boring, but it's extremely functional, which is why I'm actually considering doing this one or using this one as my Pan That palette next year, just because I know I can get a lot of use out of each one of these shadows, because you can build, each one of them can be used to build a base for all sorts of looks. And I'm really happy that the outside is so funky, because yeah, the inside is pretty boring. But again, it's very practical. Let's put it this way. I wouldn't be super inspired by it. But if I want a neutral color to build an eye look with, it automatically comes to mind, as does my current or this year's Pan That palette. Let me show you that one too. So this is my Pan That palette for this year. And can you see how they're all, again, those very basic matte colors that you can use to build a look, right? There is room for those types of palettes. The only thing is, I would be very annoyed if these were the only types of palettes I had in my collection. I love color. I'm a big, big fan of color. Number 5 is a makeup trend I think is boring and want to go away. Is there a boring makeup trend? Well, I guess it's more of a hair trend, and I'm trying to do it with my own hair. It's looking kind of frizzy and weird today, but I'm trying to get away from blowouts and straightening, and trying to do hair that requires a lot of care, and that, you know, you're wondering, well, am I going to go for a bike ride if I need to have nice hair tonight, blah, blah, blah. I want to live. I don't want to limit what I'm doing on a day-to-day basis because of what it's going to do to my hair. So I'm trying to go with more natural looks. And so with my, you know, embracing my natural curl. And so I think that overemphasis on hair, I would love for that trend to go away, because I really think that it can limit us in what we choose to do as far as life experiences. I want to be able to go walk in the rain. I want to go for a bike ride whenever I want, not worry about helmet head. And I think that I don't want to fuss with hair as much as I have in the past, and just find haircuts that fit my lifestyle. So it's not makeup, but I think it's still beauty, fashion, look, that kind of thing. So that's my answer. Number 6, the worst liquid lipstick you have tried. There are a few liquid lipsticks that I don't like, but this one is definitely on the short list for the worst. And it's the Tartiste lip paint. I'm not a big fan. I don't know if this is the one that dries down really dry. This one's in the color Exposed, but it's I don't find it very comfortable, and it can get kind of crusty. So I would say, I'll say this, it's not necessarily the only one that kind of gets crusty. I think Stila and Anastasia liquid lipsticks also get kind of crusty. Yeah, that's why I was so disappointed with this one, which is the Always On. And what's it called again? I kept thinking it was called Spoiled Brat, but no, it's Girl Gang. Really, really disappointed in this one, but none of the other ones are dried out, and they're really, really good. They're really, really comfortable, and so they're my favorite. And the one I'm wearing right now is Conspiracy by Urban Decay. I really like that one as well. All the Urban Decay, and I have a bunch up here. I don't know if you can see them. So there are a bunch of really good liquid lipsticks. This one, the Stila and the Anastasia, just are not my favorite. What color do you think is the most boring? Can I give you a list? Anything in a light neutral. Light beige, light brown, light pink, light peach. For a transition or to set your primer, fine. To make it an all over the lid color, unless you're wearing a super, super bold lip or liner, I just find those colors so, so, so boring. And some folks like a very neat, understated eye, and that's fine. Just not on my face. I want to have color, and color or dramatic neutrals, I live for that. And eye makeup is my favorite part of doing makeup, and so I want various colors, whether it's a gamut of neutrals or neutrals and colors or just colors, but you're more likely to see me with a colorful, dramatic look than you are to see a very neutral eye. Number 8, what brand do you think comes out with the most boring things? I would have said Smashbox traditionally, and I think they still have quite understated color themes. But I have to say that there is so much, and the cover shots have really taken me away from believing, Smashbox, that's the nature of the brand. I have to say Tarte has a lot of boring stuff. Yeah, I'm gonna say Tarte. They've done some recent stuff that's really interesting, like the Tartiste Remix. That was really neat. I am a big fan of the Tartiste Pro, and I don't have that one in my collection, but boy, do I have my sights on it. And I mean, a lot of their palettes, like the Tartlet and Bloom, I find them pretty boring. And even some of their most popular palettes, like the Maneater, pretty boring. And the Flirt, I think, there's a little 6-pan. I don't really go for a bunch of neutrals, and so yeah, I would definitely say that that Tarte it's great. I would definitely talk about Tarte for a beginner. I really, really like the formula. And there are lots of very approachable palettes. One that I keep talking about all the time is the Tartiste Pro To Go. Let me show you that one. This is very neutral, but it is really, really functional, and you can do a lot with it. And I very, very often recommend this one, but you can see how boring these colors are. And it's really these 3 that make the palette. And I definitely think that this is a fantastic palette. But so much of Tarte's is really boring. How often can I say boring in this answer? But that's what I think. Number 9, which step in your makeup routine is the most boring one? Foundation and concealer application. Yawn. I do it. I try to make it as fast as possible. I use my hands to do it because I just cannot be bothered with a sponge or a brush. The faster it can be done, the better. And I just double check that I don't have any streaks, but gosh, if it cannot, I want it to go by as fast as possible. Second only to that is brows, because brows can be time consuming, but I really like the end result of brows, so I don't mind putting in the time, but I do find it tedious. And number 10, we're at the last question. It is, if you had to choose between a good base and a bad eye look, or a bad base and a good eye look, which one would I choose? Good eye look always. I can always wipe off the base, but I don't want to not have a good eye look. I think a bad eye look I'm very self-conscious of. a bad base look, and probably it's not meant for me to consider that I could wipe it off, but I would sneak away and wipe it off. I don't feel like I need a base, but I really appreciate an eye that is dressed up and that shows the way I want it to show. So that's it. Maybe I'm cheating on the last question. What do you think? I now turn it over to you. Let me know what you think of my answers below. And if you have the means to do it, I tag you to do this tag. And I also would love, if you don't have a YouTube channel, but you want to offer some answers to some of those questions, they will be in the description box. And please leave me your comment or comments on the questions down below. I would love to hear what you have to say. I thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it every single time, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. But for now, take care.